Righty, so look, this week, it is gather round this week, Tazza. So a lot of interesting matchups all over the place in South Australia. We're turning our attention to a couple of teams. Well, one of them I didn't think anyone, certainly none of us thought this team would be anywhere near the top of the ladder. But this is a top four matchup right now, and this is the Pies against the Saints. That's where BT's told us to go this week for his game of the week, and hard to disagree with the call here.
Yeah, we love to bash his calls sometimes, but it is hard to bash this one. It's anytime you get a top four clash. Collingwood at Collingwood, we know what they're like.
Box
they're
office.
They're the most exciting team to watch, bar none. Absolutely. So, but the Saints, I still don't know what to make of them.
Wow.
But they keep doing everything right. So, yeah, they've got to earn the respect. But this is the big litmus test for them. This is the one.
Oh yeah.
If they get rolled by 10 goals, they're just as shit as we thought they were.
Oh.
If they look. No, I'm absolutely not putting them in that. Definitely not. But this is their chance for people to take them seriously.
Absolutely. So Saints 4-0. So let's just put that out there. We didn't see that coming at all. But the Saints, you can't say they haven't played anyone yet because they played two finals teams from last year and beat them. They played the Dogs and they played Freo. Now, those two teams don't look as good as we kind of thought they did. So acknowledging that. But as you said, this is the litmus test. Collingwood's up and about. Collingwood, for mine, are one of the top two teams in the comp with Melbourne. St Kilda win this, they're right there. But the stats really backing up what St Kilda's doing right now. Number 2 in the AFL for contested possessions. The boys are getting in there, they're getting stuck in, they're getting hands on the footy first, and that's mindset. And that's what you really want to see from the Saints. Number 1 in the comp for their defence. They are not getting scored against, and that's purely Ross's system, as well as some really good performances from the guys down back. You got to say, Callum Wilkie on a roll, looking like he's certainly in the frame there for an All-Australian Guernsey. They are 15 points a game better than the next best team in terms of scores allowed. So this team, Tazza, is getting it done on the back end and moving the ball beautifully. It's really impressive.
Yeah, the old adage that defense wins championships, wins premierships. It's 4 rounds in, but the defense is a bedrock on which to build a team. And no one knows that better than Ross. Has he won a flag? No, but he's been that close to doing it before. So he's built good teams before, and it's no surprise.
The interesting thing is, we spoke a bit earlier in the show about Fremantle not doing what the rest of the competition is doing, and to extent, Saints are doing the same thing. Cold Records is in the chat right now, and he's gone with something that I was going to go with. Champion Data has put out the stats. Saints, number 1 team in the competition for using the boundary. Worst ranked team in the comp for using the corridor. So completely going against the modern strategy of today's game, and it's working for them. And that's why we're seeing Mason Wood putting up numbers that have him in All-Australian contention. Seb Ross is playing good footy out there on the other wing. It's surprising. It's surprising, and I think that's why we really want to see this litmus test, Tazza.
Yeah, absolutely. Conversely, Collingwood, I don't know the numbers, but I reckon they would be probably close to being number 1 for using the corridor. They tend to go straight up the guts, and it works for them. They've got the skills, the ball skills to do it. So it's going to be a bit of a clash of systems in a sense.
Yeah, and I said Saints were number 2 in the comp for contested possessions, Collingwood number 3. So this is where these two teams really earn their bread. They get stuck in and they win the footy, and that's mindset. So two teams that are all about doing the hard stuff. The ruck situation, still a problem for Collingwood, Tazza, and after last week, you got to ask the question, what are they going to do?
Yeah, I was only just going to say that. Rowan Marshall. I mean,
Oof.
there's a lot on him here to really give Saints first use. And I mean, we talked about Big O having the influence for the Lions. I mean, to me, Marshall's in another league. I mean, yeah, he's a great fantasy ruckman, but he also does a lot more around the ground than Big O. So, I mean, he should have it all to himself. And given the contested possession advantages that the Saints have had this year, there's no reason why they can't keep it going with that ruck dominance.
Yeah, so really good matchup this one. Collingwood versus St Kilda. Let us know in the comments below who you think's going to win this game. In terms of our tips, I have a hard time tipping against Collingwood in general. Part of it is because of the flack I copped on this channel last year for my lack of belief in the Pies. But I really want to see what the Saints do when the pressure's on. I'm not sure they're going to win this game, but I'd certainly love to see it and for them to really put their stamp on the competition as a contender this year, because that's what they need to do.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think they're going to disgrace themselves. I'll go Collingwood at the G. It's hard to go against them there. I mean, they lost to Brisbane at the Gabba. I think they're going to be right up there they're going to win most of their games at the G this year, Collingwood. So, yeah, I reckon they win by about 3 goals. It'll be a close game.